the question for today is, if Ben Askren joins the UFC as expected, where does it belong in the official rankings? Top 5, top 10, top 15, or unranked?
I ended up going top 5, but it's really probably at around 5. I wouldn't hate you if you did top 10, but a lot of his wins just come outside the UFC, and one of the ways that we figure out just how well you are is competing at the highest level, and he lacks a little bit of that. He's fought some guys that have fought in the UFC, and he's been successful, but I would say maybe top 5, right at number 5 would be good for me. How about you, Dan?
Yeah, I'm right around in the same area. Admittedly, don't have the rankings page pulled up in front of me, but if I did, I would probably just go to the UFC rankings for this one, as far as strictly ranking him in-house, because obviously that's where he's rumored to be. And even those rankings can be questionable at times. Some guys kind of hold their spots. Well, maybe we should circulate it a little better. That being said, I would still see Ben Askren right around the top 5. I would say top 5, but realistically, I would maybe see like a 7 or 8. But the fact that they'll probably match him against the top 5, I imagine he's right at the cusp of number 5.
Okay, yeah, I think this is pretty unanimous then. I also said top 5 because I physically voted, but I'm one of the ones that usually initiates rankings talk when we talk about the USA Today and MMAjunkie rankings. The first thing I would do, and I didn't want to do it for this one because then I felt like not that I was cheating, but that I just had the inside info. I didn't want to go back to when Ben technically retired to see when it is we officially pulled him off. Like that's what I did for like Chad Mendez, for example, when he was off for 2 years. I went back to see where he was, then used that along with the fight that he had out in Boise, Idaho, the win, to then gauge where I felt like he fit. That's the same thing I would do with Ben Askren when he does come back. But without doing that, I went and looked, and the one thing we can't do is put him below 9 because he's got that head-to-head versus Douglas Lima. And then you just start matching him up versus what Kamaru Usman and Robbie Lawler and Rafael Dos Anjos have done. All those guys have succeeded at high levels, especially Lawler and Dos Anjos winning titles. Dos Anjos at 55, but still. They've won titles, they've hit the apex of their divisions, and then you just start to look to see who's who's doing what. Tyron Woodley's the UFC undisputed champion. Colby Covington was the interim champion. He's only lost once. Rory McDonald is currently the Bellator welterweight champion, and then you get to Till and Thompson. Frankly, guys, I think I would place them right between McDonald and Till. It has hurt him that he hasn't fought, in about a year or so. And his last few fights, they weren't against the highest of caliber of opponents. He had tougher competition in Bellator, in my eyes. But what helps him out tremendously, and what would have helped him out is had he not retired, is the fact that while he was 18-0, he wasn't losing. And all those other guys, when they do take a loss, sometimes that's when you have to take a little bit of a tumble. But as you win, you also go upward. So I think I would place him right above Till and right below McDonald. But yeah, I think it seems like we're all kind of on the same page as far as top 5 is concerned. So anyway, that's our daily debate today, brought to you by the MMA Junkie Radio team.